G'day guys, so in this video we're going to look at creating a raft to aid in the taming of water-based creatures in Ark Survival Evolved. So it's time to don your scuba gear because we're going down deep. First, park your support boat out in deep water, making sure there's no big rocks underneath you, and lay a raft down. So now the first thing that you want to do is centre a foundation over the top of the rudder, which is best done by first laying a pillar by grabbing the rudder and then building two foundations back. You really don't want to skip this and just eyeball it, because having it aligned correctly is vitally important when we build downwards, and it'll save you a lot of grief later on, as we're going to be building the raft right out to its limits. Okay, so now that we've got a foundation centred, we can start building a pillar downwards. For this you'll want to use 41 pillars. So it's best to just keep 41 in your inventory, that way you don't have to count them as you're going down. So rafts have a limitation on how far out you can build, how far forward and back, how high you can build, but no limitation on how deep you can go. Now after you've laid the 41 pillars down, we want to place a foundation. So to do that, snap a thatch ceiling as far down as possible, and another ceiling next to that. Then you can snap a foundation onto the bottom of that second ceiling. Demolish the pillar, and then bring your foundation back into the centre line by again snapping it underneath the thatch ceiling. So now that last foundation is the only thing we need, so we can demolish everything else. So just cut the bottom and the top and the pillar will fall down, unless you want to reclaim all of that building material. And yes, you can use wood pillars instead. So what we've done by placing that foundation is mark the depth at which the Dunkleosteus will pursue you to. It won't attack anything above that level. So we've just created a depth gauge to mark the Dunkleosteus' safety zone. Their momentum may carry them above that line, but they'll never attack anything above it. Okay, so let's go lower. Now from this bare foundation we want to go 29 pillars lower. So again, just keep 29 pillars in your inventory so we don't have to count them. 29 down, and we do the exact same thing as before. We put a foundation in the centre line by first building a thatch ceiling outwards and snapping the stone foundation in. You can use cheaper thatch and wood for these expendable items. Like before, demolish everything except that last foundation. So yep, as you guessed, we've now marked the safety zone for the Plesiosaur. So no matter how much you piss off a Plesiosaur, he won't pursue you above that line. Okay, 2 down, 1 to go, the Mosasaur. So now we have to go 40 more pillars down. Yep, the Mosasaur is really deep. Well, conveniently there's already a Mosasaur here, but now I've got to get the foundation in without him eating me. Anyway, just do it the same as the two ways we've done before. So now we've got 3 levels: the Dunklefish, the Plesiosaur, and the Mosasaur down the bottom. This build's probably not one you want to do without a scuba suit. So yep, you won't pursue me above this foundation. Now there's 2 ways we can go about taming off these foundations. We can bait them or we can trap them. So to lay bait beneath the foundation, all you have to do is build a pillar downwards. And then piss him off. He'll rage, and because the pillar protrudes down into his attack zone, he'll keep attacking it. You have to be careful with the Mosasaur because its area of attack is so large. Its attacks will hit anything on that foundation, even though he's not attacking the foundation itself. So you can use that pillar bait to keep him in the location to knock him out. It's a good way, but not the best way, as if his health gets too low, he will try and bugger off. So let's build a trap to hold him. So build 9 pillars down. And like the 3 times before, put a centre foundation in. And get rid of the pillar. Now off that centre pillar we're going to build a 7x7 cross with thatched ceilings with stone foundation snapped beneath them. You'll only be able to extend it 2 at a time, but eventually you'll end up with this. Now we need to get some foundation out into the corners, so extend the sides out. Same as before. This is the shape you should end up with. Now go through and delete all those thatched ceilings. Okay, now we have to demolish more foundation. So we want 2 spaces between every foundation. So keep going until you end up with this 7x7 square with 9 foundations spaced evenly apart. Okay, so now off all the side foundations, sparing the front one, you need to build 7 walls upwards. Okay, so now a single ceiling in from the top of the walls. And now you've built a trap large enough to hold a Mosasaur. So now you want to send your tribe out on dolphin scouts to find a Mosasaur of the level that you want. Take the raft over to its location. Use yourself as bait to draw him into the trap. And then close it in with walls at the back. This is a lot easier with two people, one to keep his attention at the front, the other to wall him in. Now, no matter how hard he tries, he won't be getting out of there. Unless someone moves the raft, in which case he'll glitch straight through the side. So you can easily trank your caged Mosasaur. Ready for taming. Plesiosaurs can be trapped the same way. Just lure him in and shut the trap up. The collision box on Plesiosaurs are really quite large and they won't get out either. Anyway, we've got a few pieces left, so let's add a pillbox onto the top foundation, containing a smithy, preserving bin, and mortar and pestle, and box it all in. Using a window to access them. They'll be useful as it's a long way back to the surface. Now there's only a few pieces left to bring it up to that 88 block raft limit. So I'll just slap a bed down on top, that's always useful. And some pillar bait down on the Dunkleosteus foundation to help taming those, as they're too small and will fit straight through that cage down the bottom. And that's the full 88 pieces. Anyway guys, that's it. But a bit of news first. I already had the shop for my other channel at FPS Outback, so it was easy for me to make another design for this channel, so I put the t-shirts up in there. The next video I make will probably be for my other channel. I've been neglecting that for so long, so I want to get back into that. But I still have plenty of ARC content coming up.